So you have been thinking of moving to Kitchener, or if you're someone who has actually made a call to move to Kitchener. Now, what you're thinking is, where should I live in Kitchener? What neighborhood is the right one for me? That's one of the most common questions I do get asked in the very first meeting with the buyers during the initial consultation, when we are either having those Zoom call or that in-person meeting, and we are trying to figure out which neighborhood might be the right one for the buyer. And obviously it is a natural question, especially if you are someone who is moving from outside of the Kitchener or Waterloo region. You want to make yourself familiar with your options when it comes to these neighborhoods. So I thought this might be a good idea to actually put out a video about some of the great neighborhoods right here in Kitchener. What I'm going to do in this video is actually share my screen with you very shortly, jump into the Google Maps, where I'll take you through different neighborhoods of Kitchener from south to the north. And then in each of those neighborhoods, we'll also look at the real estate options that are available to you. We'll look at some of the recently sold homes in different price range. So what's that gonna do is it's gonna give you a really good idea about the amenities and a little bit about the neighborhood. You will get to know about your real estate options in different price points in that neighborhood. So at the end of this video, hopefully you will have a better understanding about some of the neighborhoods worth considering here in Kitchener, while at the same time, you might be able to find a neighborhood that's the right fit for you and your family. So you do want to stick around as we get right into it. Hello and welcome. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Kitchener, Cambridge and Waterloo, then subscribe below and tap on that bell for notification so you can be the first to learn about the current market in Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo and surrounding towns. My name is Doon South. I'm a local real estate agent serving Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo and surrounding areas. I do get calls, texts, email from people just like you pretty much every single day who are looking for help in making their move here in Kitchener and surrounding towns, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're thinking of moving in 9 days or 90 days, be sure to reach out, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or you can even schedule a Zoom call. All the info right in the description below. I'll be more than happy to help you make a smooth move to Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo, and surrounding towns. All right, so let's get right into it. And I'm gonna pull up my screen here so you can see it. Hopefully you can see it by now. And as you can see, I have actually, the town of Kitchener pulled up on the Google map with the boundaries. And as I mentioned earlier, we're gonna start from the south end of Kitchener, and then we're gonna gradually proceed to the north end. So, I'm gonna zoom in, and one of the neighborhoods I wanted to talk about and bring your attention to is Doon South. Now, a couple of reasons why this neighborhood might be worth considering for you. One, this is one of the very few neighborhoods in Kitchener that'll give you almost immediate access to the Highway 401. And as you can see, it's kind of bordering. Let me open my annotate tool, which is in other words a drawing tool on my Zoom. So this is basically what you can see. So you have Highway 401 bordering this on one end. So especially those of my clients who have to still commute to work to Greater Toronto area or further east, they do stick around that 401, stay in the close proximity to make that commute easier. The second reason is that Doon South is also one of those neighborhoods that will give you, a lot of a newer construction. So you will not find a lot of older construction, while, the neighborhoods further north, like Pioneer Park, is one of kind of more on the mature and, established neighborhood where you will find homes all the way back to 60s, 70s, and 80s. Doon South is one of those neighborhoods that has developed within last 20 to 25 years. So majority of the homes you will find in Doon South are going to be in that range of early 2000s, even to present day. There are actually a couple of great projects that are happening right now by a couple of renowned builders here in Kitchener, and they're actually selling townhomes and the detached homes in different sizes. So whatever your budget or price point may be, you will find some decent options in Doon South. And I have actually done an extensive tour of Doon South on the channel. So like I said, every single neighborhood that I'm gonna cover here, pretty much for each and every single of them, I have done an extensive tour of the neighborhood, so feel free to check it out on the channel. If you want to dive further in about the schools, the real estate options, kind of, basically dwell more into it if there is further interest. But I have, I'm going to use this website called House Sigma. You might be familiar with it, but, believe it or not, I find this, a bit easier to navigate than the traditional MLS system that we realtors have access to. But coming back to the House Sigma, so as you can see, I've actually filtered it down to a typical price point that you will find in Kitchener, where majority of the homes are being sold between that 650 to 1.3. Especially in Doon South, you will not find a lot of options under 650. But in terms of the diversity, you will find a good mix of condo towns, freehold towns, and then you're looking at a detached homes with single garage detached ranging around that 1,500 square feet to wider lots, bigger lots of double garage detached homes, all the way well over 3,000 square feet. So like I said, the depth and diversity in Doon South is amazing. But let's actually pull up a few listings. So I only kept the homes that I sold within last 30 days to keep it relevant and give you an actual idea about the price point and what you can find here. So okay, so let's actually pull this one up. So as you can see, this is a condominium townhome that has recently sold 4 days ago. So I'm in October 2023 for the perspective of time and the market we are in. We are kind of in a balanced market right now, to say. Where you can see it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom in Doon South. 468 Doon South Drive, a condo town. Let's see how much is the condo fee. $214 per month. And like I said, you will find mostly early 2000s to present day. This is 2007 built, a decent size actually for a townhome. And you do have a basement, but that is unfinished. So this one actually sold for high 600, 680. I might as well show you a quick few pictures. But if you 1,600 square feet, if you enter like just for the townhouse, you can see the space just as you enter. Look at that wide open foyer, and that's what you get as you get that decent layout for townhomes. There's nothing wrong with townhomes. It's more about the space and the layout. I've seen semis bigger than detached homes, and I have sometimes seen townhome bigger than those single garage detached homes. So that's I know a lot of clients, when they reach out, they're like, we only want to get a detached or a semi. But like I said, you will find some decent layouts in townhomes as well. It really depends on what you're looking for. Like even as you come on the second floor, look at that space here, right? So that's what we are talking about. Like, there are very few townhomes. If you were to go for anything around 1,200-1,300 square feet, you will not find this much space. But, this is a bit about the home. That's, high 600. Let's look at something close to $1 million. You know what? Why don't we pull up this one? That's 850. How about this one? Okay, 870. This is to give you a better idea about. This is a corner unit town, but it seems like a modern contemporary exterior. So it's definitely newer than the one that we saw. Okay, 2021. And again, you can see there is a townhome, but close to 1,900 square feet. That's what you're talking about. So although it is close to 900,000, many of us would argue that, hey, why would I not go with a detached home? But like I said, it's about the living space that matters, and you're pretty much, it's a semi in a way, right? Because it is a corner unit town. You are getting a newer construction, and I'll get to the detached to give you a perspective, because if these homes are going for close to 9 in this balanced market of October 2023, look at the space, look at the open concept, look at the size of this kitchen island. Actually, it's pretty wide. Even though it's a townhome, living here, you will not feel like you're living in that typical 1,200-1,300 square feet townhome, and that's the best part of it. So again, I will not dive too much deeper into the photos and everything. You can always browse it by yourself. But like I said, this is more like an executive townhome you're looking at as you approach that high 8. Let's find something around that $1 million. So let's see what 1.1 Netherwood. Okay, this is also the heart of the construction, and you will $1,050,000 sold 9 days ago. 3-bedroom, 4-washroom, and what you can see, 2012 built, 2,400 square feet almost, and you're looking at around 4,500 square feet of lot size. And you do have kind of double wide garage, and it's pretty much a double garage detached home, close to as you approach that 7 figures, just above that 7-figure $1,050,000. That's what you're looking at. I'm gonna pull one more home. Let's see this 1.2, and pretty much after that, north of 1.2, you're probably gonna look at double garage detached. That's definitely achievable in this neighborhood, and you're probably gonna aim for over 2,500 square feet here in Doon South. So let's look at this one again. 2004, as I said, you will be definitely looking at over 2,500. This one is close to 2,900, which is pretty decent. Let's look at the lot size. Again, close to 5,000 square feet lot, and pretty standard 2-story layout that you are looking at. It seems like it does have a finished basement. The fact that this 5+1 means one below ground basement, that's probably finished. Okay, finished, and you have walkout basement. So that's basically what you're looking at here in Doon South. Like I said, depending on what your budget is, as you can see, the diversity and the depth of real estate is pretty amazing, and it's definitely one that should be on your radar if you are someone who is looking to actually move somewhere close to 401. So I'm gonna actually go now back to my Google Maps here, and I'm gonna pull up my next neighborhood. So after Doon South, the other one that's definitely should be on your radar, offering very similar amenities in terms of the new builds, and at the same time really good options while being very close to Highway 401, is another neighborhood named Huron South. Kind of, again, we are kind of still on the southern end of Kitchener, just a little bit further west of Doon South. And as you can see, you do have basically this neighborhood. You have Strasburg Road bordering one end, and then this way you have Fisher-Harmon Road pretty much bordering the other end, almost the end of the neighborhood. But this is again one of those neighborhoods where you will find a lot of options in terms of the newer builds. You will find majority of the homes built in this neighborhood are going to be in and around 2005 and later. You will not find a lot of older homes, and that's the best part of it. Now, again, when it comes to the variety, you're looking at typically those condo towns, freehold towns in different sizes. Semis, not too many, but a lot of detached homes, anywhere from 1,500 all the way to 3,000 square feet. But we're gonna jump into it very shortly. What I wanted to show you, why it should be on your radar, is again, from Huron South, you do have access to the Homer Watson, and the proximity to 401 will still not be that bad. You would be looking at around less than 10-minute commute to get you to the Highway 401. So again, and on the other end, if you were to go further west, this is a little bit inward into the city, into the town of Kitchener. So if this Fisher-Harmon Road will connect you to go further west as well, if you were to go, let's say, to further west, which we'll explore very shortly. But this is kind of that, not really a central location, but further inward, which equally close to Highway 7 and 8 on the other end, while being close to 401. So it kind of does give you the best of both worlds. You're closer to East End while not being too far away from the West End of Kitchener. So, I'm gonna actually pull up, again, I've done a video of an extensive tour, more of a detailed tour of Huron South, the whole video covering only that neighborhood. So feel free to check it out on the channel. But, from what I was in Doon South, I'm gonna actually pull further, like I said, go further west. And this is basically, like I said, so this is your Fisher-Harmon Road that we saw on Google Map here, okay? So, and this you're looking at the other end is Strasburg Road. So this is all Huron South, and we're gonna pull up a few listings that is recently sold. So let's look at this, close to 700, 208 Sophia. Okay, so you're looking at a freehold town, 3-bed, 2-bath. Although it sold just close to a month ago, we will still look at it, the fact that it's within last 30 days, and it's pretty balanced market. 2007, close to 1,300 square feet, But the fact that it's freehold, it's not a bad deal. Pretty good option for a starter home. Someone looking to, get started. You do have unfinished basement, and typical, size for a townhouse lots, close to that 2,000 square feet, is what you are looking at. So again, I will not pull up the pictures, but if you were to look it up, you will be looking at 208 Sophia, but you're looking at 3-bedroom, 2 washroom, 1 full, 1 half washroom, and close to 1,250 square feet here in Huron South. Let's go close to $1 million. We'll actually pull up the one that's okay, $1,040,000. So you have woodbine coat. So this is again a double wide garage detached home, $1,040,000. As you can see, it's very identical in terms of your real estate options versus what we saw in Doon South. So like I said, both of these neighborhoods, in terms of the price points and some of the amenities they offer, it's very identical. There's actually a newly built school in the Huron South neighborhood. You're looking at about 1,428 square feet. Okay, that's not too big. And you do have finished basement with the walk-up access. So it's 2 plus 2. So you actually have 2-bedroom below ground and 3-bedroom above ground. 3 bathrooms above ground. Pretty interesting. I want to show you one more option for that $1 million price point, because I feel like you could find something else in that price range as well. So let's see what else we could find here in Huron Park. The struggle for me is there's not a lot of activity in the real estate market as you approach that close, especially close to that $1 million mark. It's a pretty slow market right now, if you ask me. Let's look at this one, Parkville Drive. Again, a beautiful part of the neighborhood, but this is more of a reflection of what you can find in the neighborhood as you approach that high $1 million. So you're looking at 3-bedroom above ground plus 2-bedroom in the finished basement, and in total 4 bathrooms. So again, sold for $1,081,000. Interesting, they sold for 1.133 in March, and they sold again in August. But yeah, well, we'll leave that conversation to some other time. But as you can see, recent sold for $1,081,000. Right now we are looking at about 2012 built. Again, you're not gonna find anything too old, but this is what I wanted to show you. This is an actual good reflection of the neighborhood and the price point of that high million, close to 2,300 square feet, and you're looking at close to 3,600 square feet of lot overall. But pretty standard for this price point. As you can see, open concept layout. I will not pull up too many pictures, but as you can see, to give you guys a general idea. I love the kitchen, and especially the part that they've actually extended the pantry all the way into the dining area. You have plenty of more storage space. And look at this open family room. That's what you're looking at, especially when you cross that 2,000 square feet. I would definitely look for a family room upstairs, because that becomes standard. Some of the features that do become standard as you approach that high million, some of those features will include double sink, 5-piece bath in one of the master bedrooms, an ensuite privilege, family room, or an office space, or a library, whatever you call it. But those are some of the things you are definitely aiming for as you approach that 7-figure mark. And we are gonna pull up one more that's gonna be actually over 1 million. I think I did see something that's in the 1.2 range. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, 1.2. Oh, look at this. And this is definitely from the looks, it does look like a newer construction. Let's see what's the built. Okay, we don't have it. I can tell you it's probably within last 5 years. It would be my guess. But what you're looking at is a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, double garage detached home, as you can see. And yeah, you don't have it seems like a corner lot as well, and 2,600 square feet approximately. And okay, yeah, I'm trying to find out. Yeah, it seems like a brand new home that they have closed with the builder and then put it on sale. Okay, 2 weeks ago it was sold. 26 days ago actually. So as you can see, sold just over 26, so close to a month ago. But let's look at some of the pictures. Okay, you guys probably did figure out we are in the Halloween season right now as I'm recording this video. But just look at this. Oh, you have a waterfall island, beautiful light fixtures, open concept living, hardwood on the main floor and the stairs, and then your carpet. Like I said, 5-piece bath becomes standard as you approach this price point, where you can see you have a standalone soaker tub and the glass panel shower. And look at the size of the bedrooms, and oh wow, gorgeous windows. But like I said, enough about the house. But that's what you're looking at for the 1.2. Very identical between the Doon South and the Huron South. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep going further west, and one more neighborhood that should be on your radar is the Laurentian West. And this is, again, it's not as desirable as some of the other neighborhoods I mentioned, like Doon South or Huron South, but this is the kind of that budget friendly neighborhood that will give you a good entry point if you are a first time home buyer trying to get your foothold. Laurentian West will definitely give you some decent options while being very close to some of the great amenities. And this is kind of on the western end, but within the boundaries of this neighborhood, you do have that Sunrise Shopping Center right here at the corner of Fisher Harmon and close to Highway 8, Fisher Harmon in Ottawa. That's what you're looking at, where you have a lot of big box stores and a bunch of shopping options. It's more of an outdoor strip mall. It's called Sunrise Shopping Plaza. But while you don't have almost immediate access to Highway 401, as I said, you are further inward, but Laurentian West does give you immediate access to the Highway 8, because one part of the neighborhood is pretty much, I'm going to draw it further. Excuse my drawing here. But, you can see it's one part of the neighborhood pretty much bordering Highway 8. So you have almost immediate access to the highway, especially if you have to go west, it'll be a breeze. But if you have to go further east, you're looking about, 10-minute drive to get you to Highway 401 from the Highway 8. Right, so without further ado, what I'm gonna do is jump into the MLS side of it, more so House Sigma for say. And as you can see, so let's look at the, some of the real estate options here. With Laurentian West, you are definitely looking at more of a slightly older construction than what we saw with the other two neighborhoods. But definitely the reason it is a preferred choice amongst many first-time homebuyers is because, you get more value for your budget if you are in a first-time homebuyer shoes. And, this might be an example. So 3-bedroom, 2-washroom, $675. So kind of high 600, sold 13 days ago. And what you're looking at, 2002 built. Like I said, you will definitely find also some of the homes built in the 90s in this neighborhood. So if you don't mind going, into the 90s, early 2000s, then Laurentian West definitely is a good option. But again, look at this. So Doon South, for the same budget, you will more so find like a condo town in the similar price point. Huron South, again, very similar. You may get away with a freehold town, but something close to 1,200 square feet as we saw. But Laurentian West, you're looking at well over 1,400 square feet for the same price point, more or less. So that's what you're looking at. Like I said, you will get more value for your bucks that you spent in the real estate as you approach kind of further west end of Kitchener. But like I said, you're not really compromising on the neighborhood aspect of it. It's equally desirable, really good neighborhood, in Kitchener. I'm trying to find something that's sold like close to $1 million. And as you can see, as I'm trying to find, you're looking at a lot of things in and around that 700,000 to 800,000. Let's look at this one, 960. Okay, this is a good example for close to $1 million price. Again, we are in Laurentian West. Sold almost a month ago, double garage detached, 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom. And that's basically what you're looking at. More value for the money you spend. Similar house in Doon South or Huron South will definitely cost you a little bit more than what it does cost here in Laurentian West. You're not really compromising too much. I mean, you're still 2007, not too bad. Close to 15-year-old home, close to 2,300 square feet, and just about 3,500 square feet of lot size. So Again, a decent detached home, 2-story layout, seems like well kept. But feel free to check it out. The address is right here if you want to dive further into it. But Laurentian West should definitely will be the one on your radar. It gives you good bargain for your money in terms of real estate and the value you get. If sticking around to 401 is not a must for you, then Laurentian West definitely is worth considering an option, especially if you're someone who has to commute to places like Waterloo. Getting to Highway 8 and going further west into the Highway 85 will be a breeze from this neighborhood. So, and like I said earlier, if you have to still go back to 401, it's about an extra 10 minutes is what you're looking at. I will briefly touch upon this Forest Heights neighborhood. Again, this is more of a mature and established neighborhood. So if you're looking more so of a split level homes, and if you don't mind going back to 80s and 90s, even 70s, Forest Heights is definitely a good option. You will find more of those mature and established neighborhood, but there is a pride of ownership that runs along in this neighborhood. Close to 80% of the homes are owned, owner occupied, and at the same time, you will not find a lot of turnover or churning of the homes. But what you will find is a lot of older style homes, and you will not find a lot of modern contemporary designs in this neighborhood. But definitely worth considering if you are someone looking to rather that, unlike that typical 2-story layout, if you want like a bungalow style home or split level homes, this definitely is worth considering. So excuse my drawing here, but let's go further back to west, and this is pretty much at the border of Kitchener and Waterloo. This is the the most western you could be living in Kitchener. Highland West is again one of those neighborhoods that's definitely worth considering. Very similar in terms of the diversity and depth of real estate compared to Laurentian West. You are kind of a little bit further west than where you were in Laurentian West. As you can see, like just the further east of Highway 8, you have Laurentian West, then you have Forest Heights, and as you keep going west, you have Highland West over here. And again, this is one of those neighborhoods that gives you quick proximity to Highway 8. It's about 5-minute drive from any part of this neighborhood. But the benefit of living here is, especially if you are someone who has to work in Waterloo, or it gives you kind of the best of both worlds, where you're in Kitchener, but you are closer to a lot of great amenities in Waterloo than you are in Kitchener. To give you a simple example, there's actually a mall called the Boardwalk Shopping Center, which is literally a short drive from any part of this neighborhood. So, that's what people living here in Highland West do enjoy. And again, you're kind of looking at, in terms of the real estate age, you're not looking at something too new. Very few newer construction in this neighborhood, but you're not going to look at too old of a construction either. Somewhere between the 90s, early 2000s, you will find a lot of options as well. And you know what? Let me actually pull up this neighborhood. Highland West, Kitchener. Okay. So as you can see, this is what we have here. And let's look at something around 700. Oh, that's my bad. Pulled up the Forest Heights rather. Right, there we go. Highland West. So 210 West Meadow, 680, and 3-bedroom, 2-washroom. Sold 19 days ago. And what you're looking at, 2007 built, but close to 1,400, just over 1,400 square feet. So like I said, you're looking at very similar price points as Laurentian West. And seems like it's a vacant property, nothing too fancy. You could definitely use some cosmetic upgrades. We'll pull up one more close to that $1 million price point, and let's see if there is something that sold within last 30 days that's close to $1 million. So also, when you're going through these listings and when you're especially browsing on a neighborhood, one thing that's worth considering is the pride of ownership that runs along. I'll have to probably extend it a little bit further and see, okay, what has sold close to $1 million. Okay. And, I could not find a lot of options in the last 30 days in this neighborhood. And that's what I was referring to as a pride of ownership. You will not find a lot of turnover of real estate in a good neighborhood. But coming back to here, Highland West, you have a detached house sold for close to $1 million. And you're looking at double garage, detached home, 4-bedroom, 4 washroom. You have 1 additional bedroom in the basement. You can see typical 2-story detached home, sold in September. So just over a month ago. You're kind of sitting end of October. And this was like, somewhere 3rd week of September is when it sold. So not really that bad. But you know what? This is the Huck Crescent. If I were to pull up, you're literally at the border of this Boardwalk Plaza, the shopping mall. So living in this neighborhood, it'll be a very short drive accessing this. Although, just basically past this University Avenue, you are in Waterloo. So the plaza itself is in Waterloo, but you'll have quick access to it. So far we have covered Doon South, Huron South. We have covered, the Forest Heights. That should be on your radar somewhat if you're rather looking for that mature neighborhood. Laurentian West and Highland West are some of the great neighborhoods, kind of on the, west end of Kitchener. So that's a bit about the neighborhoods on the west end of Kitchener as we go from south to north. Now we're gonna do the same exercise, but from rather neighborhoods located on kind of the east end of Kitchener. So I'm gonna zoom back in. And this is basically where we had started, Doon South. And like I said, Pioneer Park is again one of those neighborhoods rather more established and mature, but a couple of great neighborhoods I want to bring your attention to, which are also considered luxurious neighborhoods, if you're in search of a luxury real estate. Deer Ridge and Hidden Valley, you're looking at where homes situated on far bigger lots, mostly detached homes, and they range typically average price point of 1.5 million and up, all the way to like I've seen homes listed for like 4.5 million. So like I said, if you're in search of a luxury real estate, these 2 neighborhoods are definitely worth considering. But I've actually done a video on most of these neighborhoods, so feel free to check it out if you want to really dive into a particular neighborhood. I've actually done a video on Hidden Valley that's on the channel, so feel free to check it out. But as we go further north, just north of Highway 8, one neighborhood I want to bring your attention to is the Grand River South. So I'm gonna pull it up over here, and as you can see, it's kind of pretty much bordering the Grand River on one end. And let me draw this. So this is what you're looking at, bordering Grand River on one end, and it's a beautiful neighborhood, very similar to what you found in Doon South. Majority of the homes built in and after 2005 in this neighborhood, so that's what attracts a lot of people. The only thing is you're not too close to the highway. Living in this neighborhood, especially Highway 401, will be about 15 minutes drive as you are kind of further inward into the city. But nonetheless, this is one of those neighborhoods that's definitely worth considering. Especially, Highway 7 is not too bad. Accessing Highway 7-8 is not too bad from this neighborhood. Just that the only downside, you will not have close proximity to the Highway 8 as you are further inward. And the other neighborhood also adjacent to it is IDLEWOOD. We also call it Lackner Woods. And this is again a couple of great neighborhoods, especially if you're an outdoor enthusiast. I can tell you this too should be the ones for you, because lots of green space and nature in and around this neighborhoods. You have a couple of great conservation areas as well, in literally like a short walk or a short drive from pretty much any part of this neighborhood. I've done a video on Grand River South as well, so feel free to check that out. But what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna actually pull up and see if how Sigma does pull Grand River South for us. Okay, so this is the neighborhood you're looking at, and you will see what I'm talking about in terms of the real estate age. So let's pull up something again in that 680, 675. But always remember, the aging of the real estate and the price point will go hand in hand. The newer the homes, you will pay slight bit of a premium. So, and this is a classic example, 675 in Laurentian West got you that freehold townhome. Same thing here in Grand River South, you're looking at more of a condo town with, oh my God, 487 monthly condo fee. However, it is a bigger size, close to 2,000 square feet of townhouse. But I want to actually pull up something that's more of a reflection of this neighborhood. So let's see what this is. Okay. Grand River South. Okay, this could be a more of an ideal reflection of what you can find for that 700 price point in this neighborhood. So you're looking at 3-bedroom, 2 washrooms, sold in August of 2023. Actually, let me filter it down. I forgot we had put 90 days. Let's put it back to 30 days because that would be more accurate for us. Okay, why don't we look at something that's close to $1 million for now, and then we'll go to that 700 price point. But what you're looking at is, something that sold just close to a month ago, close to $1 million, 945, 3-bedroom, 3 washroom, single family, basically double garage detached on a corner lot to what it seems like. Yeah, you don't have neighbor on one end, which is great. And 2013, you're looking at just over 1,800 square feet of living space. Just shy of $1 million in this neighborhood. You're looking at a lot size close to 4,500 square feet. And let's take a look at the pictures in a brief moment, so you get to see what you're looking at. And of course, some of the finishes that you can see, especially the house, the fact that it is one of the newer construction, is you will see some of the finishes which are kind of modern and contemporary. But 1,800 square feet is not that bad. But there you go. You do have a decent size, seems like a family room maybe. Oh yeah, as you come upstairs, and then you have a second level leading you to your bedrooms. So, but it's a decent size for 3-bathroom, 3-bedroom home. It seems like the basement is finished, and it is a full basement. So it's a pretty decent option, just shy of $1 million. Let's look at something more close to that 700 price point. Okay, let's see this one, 705. Okay, and this was sold 15 days ago. So 3-bedroom, 3 washroom, and it's a freehold townhome, 2009. Like I said, you're looking at 2005 and later for the most part of this neighborhood, and 1,400 square feet, and you have unfinished basement. So, for townhome in this neighborhood of Grand River South, Doon South, or Huron South, you're likely looking at shedding close to 700,000. 600, low 6 will not get you good options. You might find something in Laurentian West and some of the older construction neighborhoods, but not too many options in one of the newer neighborhoods. But seems like it's a pretty decent option in the Grand River South. And you know what? I always say, drive around the neighborhood. That will give you a really good idea as to what you can find, what you feel as the vibe of the neighborhood. I actually got lost into the pictures here, but I see some decent finishes. The only thing I found is the kitchen is, it seems, at least to me, it seems a little bit small for a house this size, but maybe when we go and see in person, it might turn out to be better. But 700,000 for a first-time home buyer, it's not a bad option. Oh, you do have ensuite privilege, and seems like you do have a walk-in closet as well. So that's a pretty good option. And like I said, you do have a unfinished basement, so there's not much happening there. Typical at 2,000 square feet of lot size, you won't get too much of a bigger lots with most of the townhomes, especially the newer ones. And okay, let's look at this one. That's close to 1.2, because we looked at one that's close to 7. We did look at one close to just shy of $1 million, like 945, and this is 1175, close to 1.2, and sold just around a week ago. 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom, again in Grand River South, and you're looking at kind of a deeper lot, and it seems like a newer home. I wonder how old is this? 2011, and well over 3,600 square feet. Pretty decent option, and it seems like an irregular shaped lot, but I'm assuming close to 5,500 square feet. You do have finished basement with walkout access, which is awesome. And just look at the foyer here, and just as you enter, you can make it out that this is well close to 3,000 square feet home. Just the width of the home and the space that you see everywhere, you don't see anything cramped up anywhere. You do have a formal dining room. On the other side of the wall, it seems like more like a living room, and you have open concept kitchen with a giant island. So, and you seems like a walkout to the raised deck. So pretty decent option from, and you have laundry on the main floor, which is amazing and seems like a laundry room on its own. And that's your mud room. And as you can see, some of the standard finishes as you approach that 1.2, walk-in closets, built-in shelving, 5-piece washroom. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, again, there's double sinks in the washrooms because it all goes hand in hand with the space that you find in the house. So that's a little bit above that 1.2 price point in Grand River South. You're looking at something very similar in Doon South as well. If you were to approach that price point, the type of real estate options will be very similar. But this is the reason, if you are looking not too old, and if you want to go further inward into Kitchener, well, Grand River South is definitely the ones to consider. So Grand River North is also not bad, but Heritage Park, Rosemount, again, those are the neighborhoods that are kind of more established and mature. Stanley Park is the same. So unless if you want to go with something that's built within last 25 to 30 years, which is many times the case, then you will not find a lot of great options in some of these neighborhoods here. But that's basically what you're looking at, and these are actually some of the great neighborhoods. Let me actually stop sharing my screen here. So these are some of the great neighborhoods in Kitchener that are worth considering if you are someone looking to move here in Kitchener and do not know where to start. I hope I did give you a good starting point in your neighborhood search. But nonetheless, if you want to dive further or explore more about some of these neighborhoods that you might find of interest, I've done separate videos on majority of these neighborhoods I've mentioned in these videos. So feel free to check it out yourself to dive further and see whether that is a fit for you or not. Nonetheless, whether you're thinking of moving in 9 days or 90 days, be sure to reach out, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or you can even schedule a Zoom call. All the info right in the description below. I'll be more than happy to help you make a smooth move in and around Kitchener, Ontario. Until next time, well, I do hope to show you around town.